What video game do you consider a masterpiece? The Civilization series taught me more about science, history, wonders of the world, and strategy than any textbook. Also not to fuck with Gandhi. Worms 2, the original. Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Man, I miss Valve. Their games were designed in a way many developers could only dream of. They were revolutionary in almost everything they laid their hands on. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Doom, the classic one. Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. Counter-Strike 1.6, it's 2004 and you stayed home from school. For me, Mass Effect 1,2,3. Everyone's experience can be a little different. The moments you can have with all the different characters really made it feel like you made some true friends. It felt like the story fully puts you in the first-person narrative. I started out a good person in the first one, lost some of my moral values in the second one, found myself again in the third one when Earth really needed me. Never could quite find love again after Lyra, but I always had my best friend Garrus to have drinks in the Citadel and shoot bottles. Super Metroid. Despite releasing in 1994, it still holds up amazingly well in almost all areas. Beautiful 16-bit graphics, atmospheric soundtrack, mostly, intuitive level design, and a great story that doesn't rely on lengthy exposition. Only the controls are a bit unconventional and take some getting used to. But once you've gotten the hang of them, moving around feels great. Especially mastering wall jumping is very rewarding as it allows you to get certain items early. If you're a casual player, that's all you need to care about. But if you're a dedicated fan, there's also a veritable mountain of tricks, exploits and glitches to discover. This really works in the game's favor by adding way more options for traversing the world. It allows for fun things like getting even more items early, or beating the game in 40 minutes, or even crazy challenge runs like killing the 4 main bosses in reverse order. And that's not even getting into the wonderful world of randomizers, and ROM hacks, which allow for entirely new ways of playing by shuffling items or rebuilding the game from the ground up. If you like platformers and have somehow not played Super Metroid, absolutely consider doing so. Edit. /u/heavyweather77 replied here, saying he transcribed and arranged the entire game's soundtrack, so he and his band could give a live performance as a friend speedruns the game. The dedication to doing cool things like that are why I love this community. Edit 2. If you want to see the pinnacle of technical skill in Super Metroid, check out the Super Metroid Impossible, and Kaizo, playthroughs by Oats and Goats at AGDQ. A few people have recommended I add this, and I'm a fan myself, so here you go. StarCraft. Secret of Monkey Island. Everything about that game was a huge upgrade in comparison to Sierra's adventure games. And that humor is exactly my cup of tea. Chrono Trigger. Castlevania SOTN. What's your strongest opinion that's not political, religious or moral? Radio ads that have honking horns or sirens should be illegal. As should billboards. If I buy a car, I want to own it without paying a subscription to use the radio or heated steering wheel. Ads with the skip button are more effective than ones without. If an ad has a skip button, you can choose whenever you're interested in said product or not. This provides more clear info to advertisers too. An unskippable ad makes a person associate the company with a negative experience, therefore downgrading the company. Weekends are sacred and you can pry my free Saturday out of my cold dead hands. And even then good luck because I will have hot glued it to my hands. Jokes aside, self-care and distressing are important. Take care of yourself, people. Edit. For everyone saying this comment is indeed political/religious, I'm just saying that having some time off to recharge or take care of personal stuff is important. It does not matter when or how that time off is, as long as you have some. I just want people to be healthy. If you take a shit at public toilets, flush. People should learn that saying I don't know is a perfectly acceptable thing to say, and very often the most accurate. Swimming should be taught to every child. It's much more important to be predictable on the road than polite. When it is your turn, go. That you largely parent teens by parenting 0 to 12-year-olds. Social media may cause depression. It's not a real meeting if there's no agenda. Re-rack your weights, you meaningless excuse for intelligent life. Old people needs to start playing some video games. I work as a nurse and all I see is elderly wasting away in bed with nothing to do. They don't use their brain much when they sit in hospital bed or skilled facilities bed. Seriously, get a hobby. Slow that cognitive decline. Drivers who don't indicate when turning are selfish scum. If little acts of courtesy/kindness were more normal, it would be better for everyone. Instead, most people act like assholes. For example, yesterday at the butcher they asked me and a lady who had both been waiting a bit who was next. She said me, but I saw her already waiting when I walked in and explained that. She then asked how much I was getting, as she would be getting a lot of stuff. I was only buying one thing, so I went first, and was done in less than a minute. Walking out I realized how insanely rare an interaction like this is, and also how sad that is. Just two people being nice to each other and looking out for the other in a small way. People who sleep naked, why? Zero restrictions while sleeping means better sleep. I have learned to hang a robe by the bedroom door. Wouldn't you be scared if you were a robber and saw a naked man running at you with a frying pan? Same reason I shower naked, so I don't get my clothes wet. It's fucking hot. It stops people from sitting next to me on the train. Freedom. I sleep better when my body is a bit cool. I hate having to wear clothes by day, so by night it's a relief. When else does my genitals gets to see sunlight? In the morning I don't feel like taking off clothes to get into the shower, so I just sleep naked, uneasy face. I have to wear clothes all day, fuck having to wearing them in bed. *edit. Previous comment sounded like I wanted to shag my clothes. I don't. Because it's way more comfortable and I won't feel every single crease in the clothing and it won't bunch up. To use the element of surprise as my home invader is distracted from my hanging billiards before I hit them with the judo chop. To let my lady parts breath. Being stuff in underwear all day. It's good for it to get a break from that. Plus it just feels better. Less heat. More mobility. Enjoy the freedom, but now that I am with my hubby I love naked snuggles through the night. I enjoy feeling him against me, even his middle of the night sleep boners. It lets your body breathe. No elastics, no constraints. Naked is the natural state. It is the clothed sleepers who should have to justify their decision.